Zito, he's durable enough to where he's credible enough of a threat to a Benavidez. Might not be able to put himself out there all the time and might have to reserve his energy to a degree.
Okay. Kate, what do you think? Now you got May 8th, you said, or 9th, Hamzat and Sean Strickland. What's your thoughts?
Sure. That's it's a big one because that's Hamzat's first title defense, and I think it would be one of many, especially because you look at that division, and every single fight is just so favorable for him. The top half of that division is filled with strikers. There's very few elite wrestlers in that division, and that just makes it the perfect environment for a fighter like Hamzat. And right now, he's fighting Sean Strickland. You want to talk about a durable guy? Sean Strickland's durable. And he's a guy that can run you through for 5 rounds, but with a guy like Hamzat, I just don't think that it'll be 5 rounds of what Sean Strickland wants it to be, And you look at a guy like Dricus Du Plessis, who was Hamzat's last matchup. He's a lot thicker, he's a lot stronger, and he's a lot better grappler than Sean Strickland. And you look at that fight.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the best performances in a UFC title fight we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And he just pretty much just held him on the ground for 5 rounds. And I don't think it'll be any different in this fight. The only way I see this fight getting close is if Sean Strickland can make something happen in between the times where he's on his feet and he's on his ground. And he's on, you know what I mean? Because in between those, for the majority of the round when he's going to be on his butt, there's no way he's going to be able to do anything. I'll boldly say that. You know what I mean? And I'll stand by it. If it was somebody else, I'd say absolutely. It's just not his realm. I don't think it'll be that hard of a night for Hamzat, but you're looking at a guy that is known for creating magic and pulling nothing out of something and pulling out upsets. You look at the Adesanya fight those years ago. So he's definitely not a guy you can underestimate, but I still think it's a very favorable matchup for Hamzat. So I'll have to take him. But I want to backtrack a little bit. When is that David Benavidez fight?
Next week.
May 2nd, I think it is.
Yeah.
May 2nd. Okay.
Do you have something on that?
I was just wondering. Because I like Benavidez. I never seen him fight live. I always miss.
Okay, I thought you were trying to step on Tony and Z's work here now. You've been off gallivanting around. I thought, you might think you own the place here or something. What's going on?
We'll forgive him on this one.
Okay. But don't go to the mailbox without looking twice, because there may be a pie in there for you.
Or down there's some wires. Keep wires back up.
See, what do you think? I couldn't have said it any better. The problem is, in most fights, in 92% of fights, people, you're standing up, but you get skin to skin. And that's going to be Sean Strickland's problem. Simple as that. As soon as it gets skin to skin, Sean Strickland's out of his element. It's not out of his element, but he's not where he wants to be against Hamzat. That's just not going to work. And Sean Strickland, he's a durable guy and everything. I predict stoppage. I predict that he gets stopped. As was alluded to earlier, Du Plessis is a stronger, more durable guy on the ground than Strickland. So it wasn't easy to just go and finish Du Plessis all the time. And plus, Du Plessis fought an extremely defensive fight. Extremely defensive fight. Almost passive to a degree. Sean Strickland's not that guy. He's going to put it out there, and that's what's going to get him stopped. Maybe a choke. I predict a choke stoppage to be honest.
Ooh. All right. Tony, looks like Boots Ennis is finally going to get in the ring again. against Zoyas. What's your thoughts?
I didn't think it was going to happen, but if they've already signed it, I think he could. There's better people he could fight, but you know he's going to be which Boots is coming to the game for that fight. So I don't know. I mean, I would lean probably on Boots, but not by a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. See?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Tony on this one. I'm gonna lean with Boots, but not a whole lot. Namaze is a natural. He's a natural junior welter or super welterweight.
Mm-hmm.
He's natural for that weight, and this will be, to me, Boots' first test as far as fighting a guy who's that weight.
Mm-hmm.
And Namaze is another guy who's kind of durable and who's going to kind of bring the fight to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how, more than anything, because Boots, he has skill, and I think at times that he doesn't rely on his skill all the time. He relies on his size and his athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
This may be a fight to where we're going to have to see certain skills. Does he have certain skills?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he going to just overwhelm his opponent? Because the trueness of fighting is when you can't overwhelm your opponent. You have to pull out those different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen Boots challenge like that yet. I've seen Boots, he has control of the guy, and even with control of the guy, Boots will get hit. He'll do some things in there and make some movements in there that, right now he feels too comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we need a challenge. So this may be the fight to challenge him.
Sure. And there was something in a couple of the magazines that Haney is the guy that's keeping him back. Is there any truth to that, Z?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be any truth to that because Haney's not a promoter. He doesn't have any.
No, I mean I misspoke. Heard his manager, Eddie Heard.
Oh. So that's often the case. I'm not sure exactly about that, but right now, as I speak, Boots he's just in his weight division for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of to me an appropriate step.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are other guys, bigger names. You have Virgil Ortiz and Flandora out there, but even Tim Tszyu at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Al Spence is coming up to that division, so you have bigger names. But as far as a credible test, I like what he's doing. I like his energy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Caden, another one for you. T.J. Dillingham and Roman, was it Barda? B-A-R-A-D-A? Bardo? Are you on mute? Oh, don't tell me.
Oh, my fault. I was on mute.
Yeah, I know it's a...
I didn't see that one. I apologize.
Okay. Did you see it, Z?
Unfortunately, I didn't see that one either.
Okay, Dillingham took it to him in a very methodical way. There was a lot of good footwork. Dillingham actually is a pretty decent puncher too. I mean, he took everything everything he got from roundhouse all the way down. That he did take him. All right. Here's a good one for you, Tony. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Will they ever fight?
If Tyson Fury's smart, the answer would be no. But that's a great moneymaker right there. You got your Tyson Fury fans, you got your Joshua fans. After what Joshua did to Jake Paul, I'm one of those people that want to see what else he could do because, I mean, obviously he broke the man's jaw in 3 places. So I think he would hurt Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Fury's only luck, I think, would be to try to lean on him, and you're not going to lean on Anthony Joshua. So will it happen? Yeah, I think it will go down. I think it's a huge draw. I think it's a big money maker for everybody involved. And I know it's another one that people are going to want to see it. So whether or not Tyson Fury wants it, I don't know. But
Hmm.
I think Joshua would do it.
Okay. What do you think, Zeke?
I'm gonna agree with this part. I think it can happen. I think actually it's gearing more toward Fury and Joshua fighting.
Hmm.
I think though the fight really the outcome depends on what Fury shows up. If Tyson Fury shows up with what Ngannou, then I think Joshua gives him a hard time. If Tyson Fury shows up who's focused on Deontay Wilder, I don't think Joshua stands a chance. I
Hmm.
honestly don't think Joshua. Just when it comes to certain things in the ring, I always thought that Tyson Fury would be a terrible, terrible matchup for Anthony Joshua.
Hmm.
There are things that Tyson Fury does. Tyson Fury is more fluid.
Hmm.
Tyson Fury takes a better shot. Tyson Fury is more relaxed in the ring, and Tyson Fury has better footwork.
Hmm.
Anthony Joshua, as technical as he is, and he's a hard guy, he doesn't take the best shot.
Hmm.
He's a guy, and if he doesn't get there, he's frustratable.
Hmm.
He's frustratable. And a guy like Tyson Fury, he has size and range on Joshua. So he's a guy, and he can use it from time to time.
Hmm.
He's a guy who can frustrate Joshua. Joshua, to me, has a puncher's chance, but not, against Fury and a focused Tyson Fury, that doesn't even work.
Hmm.
So I don't really see Anthony, a pass for Anthony Joshua. And even taking Tyson Fury's last performance, the most recent performance,
Mhm.
if he comes in a little more focused, I would suggest he take another fight. But these guys are older; they're not going to keep taking too much fights. So if they meet right now, I would lean towards Tyson Fury. I would lean quite heavily, almost towards Tyson Fury right now.
Okay.
But as I'm saying, Anthony Joshua, he has a puncher's chance, and he's a guy who, he's sticking there. He's gotten up a few times. He's been wobbled a few times and came back. So he's not a guy that that you can easily do things with. But it'll be an interesting matchup.
Okay. Caden, Piro KO'd Haley Connor last week. What's your thoughts?
I don't know much about that one either, but I would like to talk about the Tyson Fury
Okay.
fight. I agree wholeheartedly with Z, but I disagree with you on one thing. I think it's more likely that we get the older, slower Tyson Fury than we get a more refined, more relaxed, technical, on point Tyson Fury. And for that point, and for that reason only, I would have to go with Anthony Joshua. But I wholeheartedly agree with you. It depends on which Tyson Fury shows up. But I would have to lean more towards AJ just because I'm more inclined to believe that a more washed up, should you say, Tyson Fury is the one that we'll see against him.
Mm-hmm.
I want to add to that too. I agree with that. And if a slow version of Tyson Fury shows up, hopefully somebody gets the number to Morgan & Morgan because he's going to need it. He's for the people. He's going to be for Tyson Fury. He's going to need it.
Yeah.
I don't see Tyson Fury coming out just burning, but I agree with Z too. If that version of Tyson Fury comes out, I think Joshua's going to have a very hard time, but I think he's going to drop that shot personally, and he's going to level him. That's what I think happens.
Well, it's funny that the three of you said that because the next thing I got on here is that Tyson Fury around the industry doesn't seem to be in shape. He doesn't look like the champion that he was. And the question is, can he sustain that punch power that he had? And Z, you're a technical expert, so why don't you take that one?
Yeah. I think Tyson Fury, and it also always depends on who you're fighting. I think Tyson Fury, he's a 6'9" guy who weighs a good 270 pounds going into the ring. He never looks in shape. And these are things I've heard about Tyson Fury before.
Mm-hmm.
But timing. I think the timing on this is right. And you put him in the ring with Joshua, I'm pretty sure it's going to be fully. Me personally, I think even a faded version of Fury could beat Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's too much game. With that said, I also think Joshua is not the same guy he was either. I think the knockout by Dubois, I think that might have gave him he's still coming out of that too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been knocked out a few times.
Okay.
So I'm going to, when it comes to that, I still think when it comes to somebody putting their hands on each other, it's not the person with the punching power, it's the person who takes the shot better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and Fury, to me, he's well proven to take the shot better than Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of that may come down to that. And it also, as I mean, it also depends on who gets there. If Joshua gets there, I'm pretty sure he can get Fury in trouble. I'm pretty sure he can kind of, but Fury, even a faded version of Fury, I think, has the tools to win that matchup.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tony, you got any on that?
I love to agree to disagree. That's all.
The red flag is out.
He knows more than I do about it. I'm not even going to go with it. But I think Tyson Fury, okay, the article's out there with what you just mentioned with he doesn't look like the old Tyson Fury. Mm-hmm. That just says something right there about what we're all saying. I mean, which version's coming? Because if the public's already seeing that he looks like that, and from what I noticed, I've not ever really been impressed with him. He's a big dude and stuff, but Joshua is going to get in on the inside and hit him, and it's going to be over. Mm-hmm. I don't see Tyson Fury win that fight. But I mean, I would never go against Z. Z knows way more than I know about boxing and everything. But that one I got to disagree on.
Oh, so
I disagree with that a little. I think I've always been amazed with Tyson Fury's physical stature. I think 6'9". He's like he's like 300 plus pounds, and he moves crazy. He's like one of the most fluent, fast heavyweight boxers you'll see, and he's that big. And I don't know. I think I disagree with that a little bit.
So is there a football game here? Because I keep hearing red flags being dropped.
Well, don't get it twisted. I've been known to eat crow. I mean, I put myself out there on the line again.
As a personal note, see, how's your shoulder?
It's a lot better.
Good.
It'll be in the gym bar.
Oh, good. But it didn't keep you down long. All right, Caden, your man, Lerone Murphy and Evelev.
Yeah, that was that already happened, right?
Yeah.
And Evelev won, right?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't watch the fight. I watched like spotted highlights online. But so I feel like I can't say much about it. And I remember seeing the stats. I just think that Evelev is physically the better athlete, and that's why. I think their qualities are so similar, and they're pretty much the exact same build. And it's not like you hear the name Evelev, you're thinking this dude's a crazy grappler. It's not like that. He's heavy puncher, kickboxer, Muay Thai, all that. He can do it all. He doesn't have the best ground game, but he is an insane kickboxer, just like Lerone Murphy. But the speed, man, I was watching these highlights. Evelev looks so refined. And right now, that is so in the UFC right now. Just a refined, quick striker, especially in those lower divisions. And a guy like Evelev, a fighter like Evelev, is a problem. And again, I think if you put him up against Volkanovski, I think I said this when that fight happened on the show after. I still wouldn't put my money on Evelev. I would still put my money on Volkanovski. But that's just because I would never bet against the guy. But I do think if there's somebody to beat Volk in that division, it's not Diego Lopez. It's not Lerone Murphy. It's Evelev. It's Mozavar Evelev. Just because, man, he has the explosiveness and the speed of a guy like Ilya Topuria. And
Mm-hmm.
you saw how that boded with Volkanovski. You know, and this might be a guy that could go in there and beat Volkanovski in 1-5, you know? And, you know, again, I think if Diego Lopez got another crack at it, I think he'd do a lot better than he did in his first fight against Volk. But that's another thing. But Evelev, man, he's dangerous for Volkanovski. He's dangerous for that whole division.
Okay. Z, you got anything?
I don't have too much on that. I'm going to agree. I mean, I saw a bit of Level, but I haven't seen enough of him to really formulate anything yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to concur that.
Okay. Tony, Ben Whitaker KO'd Brian Suarez. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it. I did catch a little bit of the details after the fact, but I think that one was kind of expected.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Z?
Yeah, that one was expected.
Excuse me.
I'm not, and I mean, I hate to say I'm not a fan of a person, you know, because I'm actually a fan of the sport, but I'm not impressed as much with Ben Whitaker. I think there's a lot of hype around him, and I need, you know, I just need to see more. I mean, you know, I see him fight, and you know, there are things that I like and there are things I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see him step up some competition and, you know, see you know what works for him doing, you know, fighting better people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Caden, what's going on with Sarukin? He's calling out everybody under the sun.
Man, ever since he got into this RAF, which is this, it's something American Federation, something Wrestling American Federation. They've been getting a lot of fighters. Hamzat Chimaev just signed there. Uriah Faber signed that he's fighting, or he already fought or wrestled, I should say. He already wrestled Arman Saryukin. Arman destroyed him. There's a couple of other, Bo Nickel's wrestling in it. There's a couple of the names that if I said you guys would they are. And Arman Saryukin is, because you see how the UFC has been doing in these past couple of years. And admittedly, it's a little warranted, but I think it's a little over the top. And I've said this and gone on this exact same rant on the show multiple times before, so I guess I'll cut it short this time. There's two missed weights that he got that collapsed the card. Dana is like a blonde girlfriend. It's like a blonde girlfriend that you went through a rough breakup, but she's gonna remember that and hold it to you for the rest of your life, right? And that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing to Arman Saryukin. He's had one or two fights in the past 4 years. And this is the guy who was number one. He was slated for a fight against Islam Makhachev. And he messed up. And Dana broke up. And now he's paying for it.
Uh-huh.
And now Dana's got him by the nuts and he's paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
But and this is why he's been wrestling his ass off in this RAF, calling out everybody under the sun just because he's trying to get some fights, man. Nobody wants to fight this dude, not only because he's really good, but he's very aggressive and he talks a lot of crap. And it does him more bad than it does good, obviously, because I don't really think anybody likes him.
Mm-hmm.
But man, Arman Saryukin, he could really be something if he didn't, you know, run his mouth so much and just lock in.
Okay, let's step into a different area right now. If you were the matchmaker, who would you match him up with next?
Man, I would, if you're saying to me straight, he doesn't deserve it right now, based on skill. But based on skill, he deserves a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely deserves a title shot. but I would match him up against Justin Gaethje.
Mm-hmm.
He already had his fight against Oliveira. I would fight him against Gaethje or Holloway. That's who I would match him up against.
Okay. All right, Z, you're more in tune with the fight game than we are. Who would you have for him for his next fight? Who would you match him up with?
To be honest, based on his current behavior, I don't think he deserves quite a big name as that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to prove himself. Build his name back up. He has some work to do.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, you kind of. I mean, however it goes down, the promotion's mad at you. So it's more or less on you to, work your way back into it than for them to kind of, to need you.
Mm-hmm.
So like I say, based off his performance, I wouldn't give him a big name. I'll give him maybe 2 fights before getting a Gaethje or Holloway. I would just see where he's at, because I don't want to go into a big fight with Gaethje and Holloway and now you're hearing about Saruki messing up. I'm not doing that. So we're going to see, you got to build go back to building the history.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the promotion goes, see where you're at, and then we could promote you a little better.
Okay. Tony?
What was the question on that? Was that UFC related?
Yeah. If you were to... Okay.
Go ahead one more time.
No. If you missed it, these guys were being very, very upfront about everything, and you were probably sleeping. So, yes. I forgot you had the soundboard. All right, Tony. Berlinger's calling out Ubex Jr. What's your thoughts?
Well, we kind of knew he's got a mouth, so he's going to call out anybody he can, but he better back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if you think fights like he did the last time he came in and fought when he fought Conor Ben, he might be in trouble. But I think that was a one-time thing. I've heard Gary's story. I heard he was sick, and I've heard a couple things happen in his life and stuff that maybe he wasn't with it. But if that's the version that comes to the fight, Berlinger will probably knock him out.
Okay.
I'm not expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that Berlinger better back his stuff up, because he's one of those that we were talking about somebody earlier that, they got one shot. They were coming down to the end of the wire and they had to win.
Mm-hmm.
He better be backing some stuff up, or he's not going to be in boxing much longer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Z?
That would actually make for an interesting fight. Just because as far as predicting the fight, I don't know. I don't know. Both guys have their good points. Both guys have their bad points. To me, it really, conditioning wise, I'm going to go with Eubank. But Berlinger has the tools and the physicality to make Eubank uncomfortable for long stretches during the fight.
Mm-hmm.
They're both, they both are pretty good, but they're not the cleanest. That's what even makes it more interesting. They both have different styles. Eubank, he likes to control with the jab on the outside. He can land his power shots off of that. Berlinger is trying to get at you for the most part. With hard shots, he's not setting much up with varying punches. He's just trying to hit you hard, and but he'll go to the head and the body.
Mm-hmm.
And that will make you back uncomfortable. So that would actually make an interesting fight. Whether it'll happen or not, I don't know, but I hope it will.
Okay.
Berlinger will be a lot hungrier though for it.
Ooh.
He's gonna be a lot hungrier than Eubank. Eubank has been there, done that. Berlinger's trying to get there. So it's gonna be a good fight.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Caden, Paula Costa, Josh Haggart at the White House.
I didn't hear about this one. They must have just added that one to the card because he just picked up a win. But Paulo Costa, man, talk about a guy who has been at wit's end with Dana White and as of late, just been climbing back, man. He was, when he got into the UFC a couple of years ago, I think it's probably been like 7 years ago now. He was undefeated all the way up until that title fight against Israel Adesanya. And what happened. Israel Adesanya was making a name for himself, and Paulo Costa was there. And it doesn't mean that Paulo Costa is a bad fighter, but man, that was the beginning to the end for him.
Mm-hmm.
He never really climbed back from there, and he's a guy who really runs off of morale and spirit, and that fight crushed him. It crushed him. The loss crushed him. That was his first loss in his career, undefeated to that point, and it always felt like he was trying to climb back to that moment. And then he got his fight with him again and lost again, and that was, people really thought that we were going to stop seeing Paulo Costa because he started losing, was overweight, kind of had a Conor McGregor type of era a little bit. But now, man, this last year, he's been training hard. He looks like he's in the best shape of his life. He no longer comes in overweight. He doesn't look like he's partying and doing drugs all the time. And most importantly, he's winning fights, and he's winning them in good fashion. And man, that UFC White House card proves it, that he's back, at least back in good graces with Dana White. It's crazy that of all people that he would be on that card. That's cool.
Yeah, it was just announced on Friday. So, what do you think, Z?
Yeah, I'm agree with Caden. Paulo Costa, he actually was some sort of one of the phenoms coming up in the UFC. But unfortunately, as you alluded to, he took a few losses, and his career seemed to go somewhere else. So I mean, kudos to him and getting everything back, online and getting on the big card.
Okay, Tony, Conor Benn and Shakur Stevens.
As much as I love Conor Benn, that fight, well, I guess I think it is signed. If it's signed,
it is, yeah.
Yeah, I think it did just get signed. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Shakur to do anything. I love Conor Benn. I love the way he fights. I love that fight against Eubank. It was great. This is a different person. I don't think Conor Benn's going to be able to get in and get him. And I think the defensiveness of Shakur, along with a little bit of offense that he'll, I'm sure, do and support it, is going to win the fight for him. I don't see a knockout either way, but I think it'll go the distance and it'll be in favor of Shakur. That's the way I'm seeing it.
Z?
I'm going to agree with Tony. Shakur is a class above Conor Benn. And all I needed to see was Conor Benn against Regis Prograis, maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe even last week.
Yeah.
That fight let me know everything I need to know. Conor Benn, he might not want to fight, and he might not want to fight Devin Haney. He might not want to fight Shakur. He might not want to fight Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? He might not want to fight Ryan Garcia. These up-and-coming guys around that same weight. Conor Benn, I don't think right now is clean enough to deal with these guys. I mean, he's a physical, athlete, but he'll hit you hard, he'll come at you hard. He's in pretty good condition. But I think these guys are classes above him to a class above him to a degree, and I think a lot of that has to do with these guys sparring each other. They've been sparring each other since they've been little teenagers. So now that these guys are in their mid-20s, it's not saying this, but they've been sparring the competitive boxing against this certain sorts of levels for years. And I'm not sure Conor Benn, he might have been sparring up, but the levels that he's, I'm seeing that levels are showing. Experience shows. And I don't know if Conor Benn has that to beat some of these guys. because you brought Regis Probate up from he was maybe he was 140. Brought him up to 140, and he was durable. He lost the fight, but when he did, he lost the fight because Conor Ben was just more active. He was throwing more punches, and he's a younger, bigger guy. With that said, that's about it for Conor Ben. If he fights anybody of any higher quality, I don't know if he's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So against Shakur, I don't think that'll go good for Conor. I think that would be one of the worst style matchups for him.
Okay. Let me step back here just for a second. Given the events of last night and the fact that they want to put a 4,500 seat stadium on the grounds of the White House, Kate, do you think that's going to take off? Do you think that they will keep that fight?
You said how many seats?
4,500.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. That's probably just some bleachers.
No, I meant, do you think that the event itself will go after the fact of another?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that there was something today or the other day, and the world is crazy. The world is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the event, no doubt, will go. I think it might be one of the highest security events in U.S. history that has the possibility of being.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't bet they're going to let, any Joe Schmo, buy tickets to go to this event. You know what I mean? I'm assuming it'll be a select pool of people that can buy these tickets, or maybe only selected invited people that can get these tickets. Because again, it is that big of an event. In terms of can they do it, absolutely. Will they do it? I'm pretty sure they will.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tony, let's go to your end because of the law enforcement. That's going to be a law enforcement nightmare. What do you think?
Oh, it'll be a nightmare, and I do think it'll happen. If it was any other presidency that was in charge, I would say never happened. This presidency, yeah, it's definitely going to happen, and they're having trouble right now trying to keep the man safe. Since like last night, I think if something happened last night.
Yeah.
If that kind of stuff's going down, they're gonna have to bring in a whole lot of security to get that place intact and have exactly what's needed, because that is a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah. I did notice that there was no eggs at the entrance, and the guy just got low, and he was staying at the hotel. He got low and ran right past the guards, and then finally one of the Secret Service guys took him down with a shot. But he did have ammunition on him, and he did have a gun on him. That's just my fear that something like that, it would be a perfect spot for somebody to try another one. But I just wanted.
Well, for him to get that far, he got that far.
Yeah.
They should have known who was in those. Any other time, any other presidency, they're going through the hotel logs, who's in what room, who's doing this, who's doing that. And this guy, to get in there a day early and do that, I'm not talking politics, but that guy, had that. If he got that far, there's a lack somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the show.
Okay. Let's see. Where are we here? Oh, here's one for you, Caden. Ronda Rousey's coming back for Carano on the 16th of May.
Yeah, both of them are coming back. It's not good. It will be, I believe it will be an MMA event, but it won't be a UFC event. It will be a Netflix event, kind of like how Jake Paul did on his Netflix boxing event.
Right.
And Gina Carano, those who know. She was a UFC champion. Now she turned to an actress. She was in the Deadpool movies. She was in the Mandalorian TV show, the Star Wars show. So she's done I would say she's more known publicly in terms of movies than she is inside the octagon. But before all of that, she was in the UFC, knocking people out. In the same time Ronda Rousey was. So we'll get to see these two UFC legends back in the cage, and that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
As of who I think will win, I think both of them have had too much time out of the octagon for me to say this person will win and this person won't. I do think that Gina Carano has always been a more physically imposing person than Ronda Rousey. So I think on that basis, I don't know if, what kind of weight classes or what the stipulations are for this fight, but I would have to go with I would have to go with Gina just because physically that girl's a beast. She's always been a beast.
Isn't she the one that when she goes to camp, she fights the guys?
I wouldn't be surprised. But when she was in the UFC, I was probably like 4 years old, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah. You may know more about that.
Yeah. Gina Carano, she was, female. And if you want to think about Gina Carano, think about as big as Ronda Rousey was. That's what they wanted Gina Carano to be. They were building her up to be that big. The only problem was they had one other female fighter who was kind of dominating things, and they ran into each other. Chris Cyborg. And Cyborg destroyed Gina Carano. And from then on, Gina Carano had a pretty successful acting career. So her coming back, and she's coming back. She was pretty good when she was in the UFC. She was really good. Very, very good stand-up. Extremely good stand-up. Now we know the story of Ronda Rousey and everything, and I'm pretty sure both of these ladies, they going into fights. Yeah, they're gonna fight the other guy in sparring. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. They're both gonna come in ready. Right now, I would honestly pick Ronda just because she's a little fresher to the game. She's a little fresher, younger in her retirement than Gina. Gina's a little more comfortable. She's had a different taste of life, after fighting. Ronda hasn't had that success outside of the ring. To me, outside the octagon, Ronda's had more success inside the octagon. Outside the octagon, Gina does. So I don't know if comfortability is going to play into that. Hunger, to me, and just youthful things. But what I will say is this: Ronda has acquired more damage to her body, but relative to her fighting, she hasn't acquired that. In her losses, she's acquired a lot of damage. But she's really acquired those damages twice against Holly Holm and against Amanda Nunes. But outside of those two fights, Ronda's been pretty, she was pretty good as far as that. So I can't say she's been really war worn. So I have to say it's going to be an interesting fight because, just as Katie said, we don't really know what we're going to get from either of these two. Coming out from retirement so long, so it'll be interesting.
Okay, Tony, Wardley and Dubois.
Who was it?
Wardley and Dubois.
It's going to be a banger, but Wardley will come out the winner in that one, I believe. I do predict a knockout on this one, actually. I think this one of them is going to get it, but I'm going to lean towards Wardley on it. Dubois bad to the bone, though, but when it comes down to it, I think Wardley's pretty much just going to knock him out. So.
Okay. All right, see?
I can see that. I'm going to agree with this much. This is not. I don't see this going to a decision from either guy, and just because both guys are, they're good enough to get each other out. Or one is good enough to get the other out. I just don't know which one. And the question mark's more on Wardley than Dubois. Dubois, you know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get. Dubois has experience. He's
Mhm.
from a higher level. And he's been successful against a higher level than Fabio.
Mhm.
With that said, Fabio, the eye test lets you know Fabio is he's in it for real, and he's a guy that he he has that explosive right hand and that power, but he'll get you late too.
Mhm.
And I was impressed when I saw him in the Joseph Parker fight, because I'm not sure if Dubois could have come back and done that against Joseph Parker. I'm not saying that he would have lost or anything, but I don't know if he would have been able to do that against that quality opponent.
Mhm.
So that's what makes Fabio Wardley dangerous, especially Dubois, who he at times doesn't mind getting hit, coming at you. He's going to be aggressive coming at you, and that could open them up for stuff.
Mhm.
My prediction is this: if Fabio Wardley, I think he needs to go ahead and get at Daniel Dubois' chin early. Because
Mhm.
if Daniel Dubois is able to withstand his punches and come forward, it's going to be a rough night for Fabio. It's just going to because Daniel Dubois he'll bludgeon you.
Mhm.
He'll bludgeon you. Big Baby Miller came in overweight against Daniel Dubois and couldn't breathe after the round five. Because
Mhm.
Daniel Dubois just kept coming and kept working hard.
Mhm.
And Fabio Wardley doesn't need it. As I said, he has a tool to slow that down and stop it. But if he doesn't, I think he might be in for a rough night.
Okay. Caden, we got Corey Sanhagen and Mario Bautista.
I don't know much about his opponent, but Corey Sandhagen just got UFC gold from Morale. I'm astonished that they're not doing an immediate rematch between Marab and Corey Sandhagen. There must be something wrong with Marab, either an injury or something else. But Corey Sandhagen is the new, I believe, bantamweight champion, and that would be his first title defense against.
Mhm.
I don't know who that is. I'll be honest with you.
Okay. Z?
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Hagen's opponent myself.
Okay. Tony, Reagan Dial quit in the middle of Lomachenko's fight. What happened?
Didn't get a chance to see it, but it doesn't shock me. He probably just couldn't withstand. He probably was winded.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, without any knowledge of it, Lomachenko probably took him to the point where he just dropped. Couldn't breathe.
Okay. Z?
That's like happened a while ago, and Ricky Dial was, for Lomachenko was too small. It's as simple as that. I mean, Lomachenko, as good as he is, Ricky Dial was just too small.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Caden, Sarukin, and Covington.
That's one I could see happening, but so Yukon would have to move up, or unless this is happening in that RAF promotion I was talking about earlier, this is a wrestling match, I could also see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
But if that would happen in the UFC, either Saryuka would have to move up or Covington would have to move down.
Mm-hmm.
I think either look a little unlikely. So for that, I don't know if this fight 100% will happen. But again, if this should happen in RAF, I can 100% see it. Either way, no matter what, if this happens in a pure wrestling match or the UFC or the street, I think so. You can 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That he's too fast, he's too technical, he's very skilled. A lot of people they don't put respect on his name, and more people are learning about him now, just because he's like a crazy ass dude, and people aren't learning about him for him being a good fighter anymore, which is a little sad, but. I do like that his name is a little bit, getting a little bit more a little bit more recognition. But against Covington, now I think that's you can all day, no matter where it is.
Okay. Z?
I could agree with that. And that's just more or less because I don't know what Colby Covington is offering as far as resistance these days.
Okay.
I just have to say, well, really, no, I saw enough. I'm with the truth.
Okay. Hey, Tony, Teofimo Lopez turned down a fight with Delgado. You have any idea why?
I think he vacated the belt for some reason and was going to a different class, I believe, or that may have something to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Z?
Probably. I mean, Teofimo, right now, you're looking at, a guy like Teofimo, belts, they may mean something, but they don't mean as much as the big fights coming up. You just sacrifice a belt for extra millions of dollars fighting this another
Sure.
guy.
Okay.
I got one for you guys. I'd like to get your opinion on this next weekend. Is the Inoue and Nakatani fight that's coming up. You got two guys that are undefeated, 32-0 each. Just curious as which way you guys are leaning on that.
Z?
I'm gonna lean to an Inoue, just because of experience. I like Nakatani. And I think it's going to present problems with Inoue. I think at the end of the day, though, Inoue is going to win it, kind of going away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always been an Inoue fan. I'd like to see him take this next one.
I think he will. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for either of them, but I do see him probably pulling it off.
Yeah. Hey, Caden, Jack Della Madonna and Prater.
Yeah, Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prater. This is a pivotal fight for both of these guys. Prater needs this win to stay in title contention. Della Maddalena needs this win to bounce back to get his title back. This is just a must win for both of these fighters. I think Jack will edge out Process just because these are two fighters that love to stand and bang. And you talk about refined boxers, refined strikers in the UFC. JDM should be, as of now, one of the first names you mentioned. You know, I say he's up there. He's not up there on par with guys like Max Holloway and Jody Allen in that sense, but he's damn near close. You know what I mean? He's a great striker, and he became a UFC champion without having a singular successful takedown. Not a single in the UFC nowadays. That's completely unheard of. You know, you should go out all the way, snatch UFC gold without taking a single guy down once. Was pretty insane. And for that reason alone, I think he's just going to go out there and strike Process's head off, even though I love Process. And the reason why I think Process has a chance is because he's got more power than Jack does, and he's got more versatility and more length. But if the fight goes the way the script says it should in my head, I think JDM goes out there and just overloads him with volume and is able to get the win that way.
Okay.
I don't think Podcast will be able to do all the creative stuff that he likes to do when JDM is just in his face for 5 rounds straight.
Okay. Tony, Jamal Charlo and Sebastian Fondora.
I thought Jamar or Charlo, maybe I got the wrong one. I thought he retired and just got out, but it doesn't matter which one of the Charlos going up against Fondora, they're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an easy one. I don't even think they even stand a chance. They just, all they got right now left pretty much is just running their mouth.
Yeah. I think it was Jamal. Jamal that retired.
Yeah, I knew one of them said something about getting out. He was frustrated about something. But,
Z?
Charlo's been out of the game for too long. I mean, this is for a fighting period. And fighting a guy like Fightnwords, I mean, if Charlo was active, it would be a much better thing. If he was active. But right now, it's not. You don't need to fight Fightnwords right now.
Okay.
I mean, you've been out of the game. You need to tune up. You need to fight a guy who's tall and long and rangy just to get your legs back under you if you're thinking about fighting the Fightnwords. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. The last one for Caden. Aljamain Sterling and Zal last night.
It was a good fight for Sterling. If you're a Sterling fan, I like the guy. When he first became a champion, I really didn't like the guy too much, but he grew on me. And he's had some hardships. And, I think he's got a great American story, And I tell you what, he's on a little bit of a comeback right now. He's winning fights. And last night, he looked big as hell, man. He looked in some of the best shape he's looked in his entire career. And he fought a good fight, so good on him. I would love to see him get back up there in title contention.
Okay. Z?
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I didn't see the fight, but Aljamain Sterling was a guy that he's been around for a while. Another guy who's been around for a bit, and you like to see guys like that kind of stick around and not acquire too much damage, but but stick around. You don't want to see a guy, go out the wrong way.
Right. Well, guys, that brings us to another fast hour. That every time I get these things set up, I think, I don't know if we'll get enough in here, but every time we sit down and start talking, that hour flies by so fast. And with all the information that you guys put out there, our listeners really appreciate, and the way you break the fights down. So I want to thank all of you for your great work. Tony, you want to lead us out?
Yeah, another good episode here. I hope that everybody has a good week this week. I think at least next weekend we got some good fights coming up and should start rolling a little bit after that. We have some more that we can talk about. Here's some good ones anyway. There's a lot of what ifs right now as far as who's going to win what, which direction we'll go. So we'll have some more news here shortly. But you guys all have a great week, and we will talk soon.
Okay. See?
Another great show. Can't wait to do it again next week. I want to thank Tony, Caden, you, Butch, all of my Fightnwords family. These shows are definitely in memory of Bob, Coach Mel, and Dr. Chris. And if anyone wants to hear any Fightnwords, please do so.
Hey, Z, remember when you had that fighter up there, we were going to talk to him, see if he can come on some night? You think there's any chance we can get him next Sunday?
I'm going to talk to him this week.
Okay, good. Caden? Caden, you're on mute.
Oh, my fault. I want to make a little announcement. Is everyone still on the show?
Yeah.
Tonight, 9:30, the greatest athlete of all time takes the court for the Lakers, and he's going to win it. 4-0 on the Rockets. Okay, I meant to say this at the end of the show, not to start, because I know we've been talking about this the whole time. But boom, there you go. That's how I'm going to leave the show.
All right. Well, you know what? I was watching a fight last night, and a basketball game ended up coming out. I've never seen.
Man, I tell you what, LeBron's still doing it, man. Play what you want. He's the GOAT.
Yeah. The other thing this week that was amazing was that on Wednesday night there was more guys in the penalty box between the Flyers and the Penguins that the second and third lines had to come out just to finish the game. It was a all-out brawl. Being a Philly Flyers fan, I wish them the very best. But, man, that's not the way to win a game. Okay, well, I want to thank you again. I want to thank everybody for listening. We really, really appreciate it when you sit down on Sunday night with us, and I appreciate all you do for us. These programs are brought to you each and every night of the week in grateful appreciation to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the men and women of the police and fire services, the doctors and nurses and first responders, to COVID, and especially those people in the market that keep those shelves stocked for us. These programs are dedicated to those who've lost their lives in the line of duty. Deputy Robert Anthony Carroll, Patrolman David Curtis, Patrolman Jeffrey Colcap, Patrolman Jeffrey Yazwitz, Sergeant Thomas Batinger, San Diego Officer Mike Henler, Sergeant Tom Wilson, Charlotte County Sheriff's Department, Detective Randy Bell, Detective Ricky Childers, Patrolman Charlie Condit, Tarpon Springs Police Department, Deputy Chief Mike Godwin, Philadelphia Fire Department, Lieutenant Joyce Craig Lewis, Philadelphia Fire Department, Sergeant James O'Connor, Philadelphia Police Department, Sergeant Chris LeVake, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department, Lieutenant Mike Zerba, Newcastle County Police, Patrolman Anafo Crispin, Lakeland PD, Deputy Josh Meyer, Nassau County Sheriff's Department, Captain Matt Letourneau, Philadelphia Fire Department, Captain Chris Leach, Wilmington Fire Department, Lieutenant Arth Hope, Wilmington Fire Department, Lieutenant Jerry Ficus, Wilmington Fire Department, Chief Jimmy Ford, Wilmington Fire Department, Chief Al Hogle, Longboat Key Police Department, Deputy Mike Hargrove, Pinellas County Sheriff's Department, Trooper Chelsea Richards, Florida Highway Patrol, Trooper Joe Bullock, Florida Highway Patrol, Trooper Zachary Ben, Florida Highway Patrol, Sergeant Chris Fitzgerald, Philadelphia Police Department, Temple University Police Department, Sergeant Ramon Mendez, Philadelphia Police Department, Chief Corey Compantier, Buffalo Creek Fire Department, Deputy Ronnie Ronazinski, Deputy County Sheriff's Department, Patrolman Zachary Butterfield, Bradenton PD, and Corporal Timothy O'Connor, Pennsylvania State Police. My brothers and sisters, although we may be 10-7 at this point in time, sometime we'll be 10-10 at the table of the Lord. Until that time, when the road rise up to meet you, may the winds be always at your back. May the rain fall softly on your fields and the sun shine lightly on your back. Until we meet again, may the good Lord keep you and your family always in the palm of his hands. Good night, God bless, and have a great week.